Hey everybody, Gina DeLuca here. Today we're going to try to do zebra stripes. Something that looks like zebra stripes. You know how it goes. You go in thinking one thing and you wind up with something else. But we have here a 10 by 20 canvas. I have zebra colors, the black and the white. Both of them are the Artist's Loft Flow Acrylic. I have used 1 part Floetrol to 1 part paint, trying to limit the number of cells. Floetrol itself can give you cells. I just don't have any other pouring medium at the moment, and I have been itching to do this painting since last night when I came up with the idea. I do put my Floetrol in another bottle, smaller, more manageable bottle. I get it by the gallon. Actually, usually I get it by the 2 or 3 gallons at a time. And I just put a piece of nylon in between the cap and the bottle, and that strains out any of the lumps that may occur, especially when you get to the bottom of the gallon. You can get some pretty funky lumps that you will just not be able to work into your paint. So I have made the consistency, let me do it in black so maybe you can see it, pretty thick compared to what I would normally do. It's, oh, that has to be from the paint, not the Floetrol. But it's pretty thick. I am trying to avoid cells. So let's get this party started. 10 by 20 canvas requires about 7 ounces of paint to cover. I've marked this cup to where 7 ounces would be. I really like these crystal clear cups when I'm doing a pour or a flip cup, because the paint comes out of it a lot easier than the more frosted type cups. And also when we're doing a pour technique, you don't want the cup, like, this is technically big enough for 7 ounces. That would be almost to the top. But then when you go to tilt it, you won't get the stream of colors running together. You would get one color and then another color. Eventually they would stream together. But if you're using a flip cup, then you would want to use the cup that is closest to the size that you need, and then I would be using this. Enough with the blabbering. Okay, so I'm going to pour it down the side. I want to do gentle layers. I want to avoid having them mix too much. I want as little gray as possible. And as you can see it coming out, it's pretty thick. Almost there. Okay, we're at 7. Probably don't even need 7 fully because I am going to lay down a layer of white first. So even though I'm planning on covering the whole canvas, I want to lay down that base so that the layer that's on top can really move around a lot and it slides around on the layer underneath instead of the bottom of the puddle sticking to your canvas and the layers on top rolling. You get very different effects by doing it both ways. So I'm using white for my background because the white that's in the paint in the painting that will be on top, I want that to be as white as possible. If there was a black background underneath, it would dull the white, might make it appear gray. It would definitely mute the color. Grab my little handy dandy spatula. It's definitely way thicker than I usually work with it. And this doesn't have to be perfect because it is going to get covered up. But you just want to avoid any bald spots. And having the edges wet will really help you when you get to those corners. The dreaded corners. Alrighty. Let's get this party started. Okay, well that looks like some kind of big alien looking something or another. I think I need to move faster. And there are cells popping up naturally. What I'm going to try to do Alright, well we're getting lots of cells. I definitely need to get some different pouring medium to do this. Kind of looks like an X-ray. Very strange looking pattern. Right. Okay, so I hate this painting. So what can I do with this? I haven't done any just black and white paintings with a swipe, so I guess no time like the present. And I'm going to do the paper towel swipe. This is like a Scott towel. It's a rag in a box. I like these better than regular paper towels. They have a little bit more weight to them, but they also don't have a pattern, which sometimes when there's the raised and depressed parts, it can leave those marks behind. So I'm just going to wet this, and I have a little bit of white here that I have made, ooh, a little clump. The one thing about these cups, they're great for pouring. They're not the best for mixing, because if they sit, what sticks on the edges will just wind up peeling off and going into your cup, into your paint. Hopefully that little bit doesn't wind up on my painting. Okay, so I did add a little more Floetrol, because this mix was 1-to-1 to cut down on cells. Obviously that worked fabulously. And I did add a bit of silicone. So let's get this started. Another nice thing about these rags is they're pretty wide. And then we're just going to drag that white. Well, I already like this better. Yes. I see you, Bubble. Well, this is a lot more interesting to me than what was going on before that. I don't love this black smear right here, so just cover that up. Okay, well, I like this much better. It's much more interesting to me than the last one. The last one made no sense. The composition was just kind of all over the place. It was hard to find a place to focus, to rest your eyes. It was just too busy for me. And I like this one. So, all is not lost when you don't like a pour. You can always try a swipe, and you may wind up rescuing your painting. All right. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. And go make some art.